The press conference to announce a big fight in February took place November 19th. And that presser brought to us the thought of two former 168-pound fighters who many people felt would be a tremendous challenge for the likes of Canelo Alvarez. But since Canelo has shown no interest, they decided to turn their focuses in a different direction. And now, after both of them have moved on up to the light heavyweight division, David Benavidez and David Morrell will be turning their attentions toward one another come February 1st. Let's talk about these two men and the fight that they have on the horizon and what it could mean for boxing and for themselves. On Saturday, February 1st, 2025, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, light heavyweights David Benavidez and David Morrell are scheduled to face one another in a showdown of two men whom were angled toward Canelo Alvarez at the 168-pound division, but he saw no favor in either of them as an opponent. So these two men, who appear to be future champions as soon as someone gives them the opportunity, have decided to turn their focuses toward one another. And I believe that this is an excellent decision by both men, because the fate of the winner as well as the loser, especially depending upon how the fight turns out, is going to determine how the dust settles at the top of the light heavyweight division. And they've seemingly cornered Canelo off at the pass, because he was looking to possibly go back up to light heavyweight and challenge the likes of Dimitri Bivol again. But one of these men may get there first. And guess what? There's a good chance that either man could possibly win the fight. The fight is heading up a card that we'll see the likes of a rematch between Brandon Figueroa against Stephen Fulton, Isaac Cruz against Angel Fierro, and Jesus Ramos Jr. against Jason Rosario. Not a bad card, and I'll tell you that this is an Amazon Prime pay-per-view. I believe that we are going to get an exciting fight, and especially when you talk about Benavidez, who's going to come into this fight looking to do his magic. You know, he has chased Canelo for several years now, and he's now in a position to be looked at as a potential candidate for champion after the dust settles between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. His recent fight, where he took on Alexander Vasquez, saw him go the distance against Vasquez, but it was a unanimous decision victory. Some people felt it was a little lackluster for Benavidez because he didn't stop Vasquez, who is a veteran fighter and who had only lost to Artur Beterbiev, a very strong man. And it was David's first fight at the weight. So when you think about it, his record of 29-0 with 24 KOs shines bright like a diamond, because he is still in the business of banging him out of there. And many people feel that as he begins to mature, at the age of 28, he's entering a prime. And the light heavyweight division is possibly more suited for him. And with the opportunity to prove his wares against the likes of Morrell, he's going to get that chance to show who is the best. Now, Morrell, who has also moved up to the division pretty much within, what was it, a couple of months of Benavidez, because Benavidez fought Vasquez in June, and he fought Radovic Kalajic in August. So these two men are trekking toward one another. Morrell is 27. That's great, because these men entering primes and going out there to face one another as youthful, powerful influences in the division of boxing, it's great stuff. And I have to say, Morrell is a southpaw, and he's from that famous Cuban school of boxing, trained by Ronnie Shields, and is an up-and-coming fighter. His record of 11-0 with 9 KOs doesn't speak the talent that he brings to the ring. He's a devastating puncher, he's definitely aggressive, and he looks to really fight in there. He can box, and he has great instructions coming from Shields. But Morrell is a fighter that really wants to get people out of there, and he seemingly enjoys hurting people in boxing. But that record of 11-0 with 9 KOs speaks that he doesn't have the professional fights under his belt. But we've seen in past history, there have been fighters who have been able to deliver the goods with shorter records. Evander Holyfield, in his 12th professional fight, became a world champion at cruiserweight. Will Morrell be able to do something similar with a less record? But together, the two of these men can come in and really set the division on fire, because between the two of them, they are just beneath Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. You can actually call those four the four horsemen of the light heavyweight division. And the fact that these two are going to get it on and face one another speaks tremendous volumes of hope and aspiration for the light heavyweight division of boxing. We need more young fighters like this to compete against one another, because it's not even really about winning and losing at this particular point of your career. It's about showing what's the advantages of being great. And when you test yourself against the best, you find out whether you have the right stuff or not. And because the margin of talent is so close, if you do happen to suffer a loss, you can get back in the gym, correct some things, and come right back into trying again, because that's how immense the talent is amongst these two fighters. They could set a great precedent for the rest of the divisions of boxing in 2025 when they come together to do what they're going to do. And I'm very excited to see and hear that these two men want to face each other. At the end of the day, I expect it to be a really great fight. We're going to have a breakdown as we get closer to the date, but the announcement that these two men are going to get in there and get it on is an awesome thing. I look forward to this. The trash talking has already begun. And again, that means nothing until they get in the ring. But at least we have a barn burner of a fight headed toward us in February. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this amazing matchup and who you have early going into this. As I said, we'll have a breakdown of things as we get closer to the fight, but just wanted to reiterate that these two men are going to bring it. Leave comments and let's discuss. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.